What's up, everybody? It's me, Johnny G, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're doing another food review. It's been a while since we've done something like this. But today in particular, we are doing a Easter candy tasting. And essentially, I found something that might be one of the most interesting or possibly one of the most absolutely disgusting Easter candies of 2026. Now, I am partially excited to try this, partially not, and I think you'll see why in just a moment. Today's main tasting is KFC jelly beans. Yeah, that's right. They are making KFC jelly beans. Now, that's not the only thing we're going to try today. This is, of course, the featured item, of course, for this taste test. But I also found marshmallow Peeps, which I know marshmallow Peeps are very divisive amongst people. But I found a Pop-Tarts frosted strawberry and a Harry Potter butterbeer. And right now, there's been a lot of Harry Potter themed like foods and especially butterbeer themed stuff to come out over the last couple of years. If you guys remember, I did the taste test on the goldfish, the goldfish grams that were butterbeer flavored, but they've had butterbeer coffee creamer. There's a butterbeer popcorn out now, and there's even more like Harry Potter coffee creamers as well. There's like a white chocolate mint one, and then something else yet, but they're pretty cool. They're decent flavors so far, but we'll try the Peeps last as a little bit of a follow-up, just in case these jelly beans actually are disgusting. Now, again, this is our feature for today, and I'm anxious. And the thing was, I had seen these online, and then I got to give a special thank you to my parents because they were the ones who actually found them in store for me. And they sent me a picture, and I said, "Ooh, I wanted to try those for a video," so they picked them up for me. So, thanks, Mom and Dad. But today, the three flavors on this bag listed are fried chicken, sweet corn, and gravy. All listed as artificially flavored, of course. Now, we will do our usual. I'll read you the nutrition facts off of the back. I'll hold them up here. If you want to pause it, you could pause it, take a look, read this stuff for yourself. There's the nutrition facts. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and read them here for you, and then we will open it up, taste them, give them a quick review out of 10. Or, yeah, out of 10. And we'll go on from there. It's been a while since I've done this. I can't even remember my own review scale. Wow. Moving on though, nutrition facts here. There's about 4 servings per package. Now this is a 4-ounce package, 22 pieces per serving. So I'm guessing 22 pieces is about an ounce. Calories per serving is 110, 0 grams total fat, 0 milligrams of sodium. Kind of crazy. No sodium for stuff that tastes like fried chicken and gravy. Pretty cool. I guess that's a way to cut sodium out of your diet. 28 grams of total carbohydrates, which 27 of those grams are your total sugars, and they are added sugars. 0 grams of protein. So, as I said, 3 flavors: fried chicken, sweet corn, and gravy. Now, I can see differences between them, so let's pop this open and try to pick one of each out. We'll try to pick 2 of each, because what we'll do is we'll try them individually, but then we'll try them together as if we're eating like one of their famous bowls where they put all this stuff together. Only thing that would round it out, I guess, would be mashed potatoes. Mashed potato flavored jelly bean. And I mean, come on, if Jelly Belly can make all the goofy, disgusting flavors like they do for the Harry Potter themed ones, surely they can make a mashed potato flavored jelly bean. I'm gonna have to rip the corner, but let's do a smell test first and see if we can actually smell anything. Oh, God. Okay. Wow. Oh, that smells like grease. Well, they captured that perfectly. Ooh, okay. Well, at the risk of them falling everywhere, let's try to find everything we need here. Okay, first and foremost, we got... This looks like our sweet corn because it's yellow. Okay. We need to find all 3 distinct colors here, so this is going to be a little bit of a pain, I believe. Our fried chicken is looks like a darker kind of color, maybe. Okay. And then our, oh, okay, so gravy sweet corn, and then I believe this is our fried chicken. So I'll try to hold them up here in a way that you guys can see. They're in my fingers there. That seems to be our 3 different distinct jelly beans. So let's start off with the one that I think is actually probably going to taste the best, surprisingly. And the reason why is because I've had many snacks that actually have this flavor, specifically like foreign snacks. It seems very popular to have sweet corn flavored snacks and things like from Japan and Korea and China and stuff like that. I've gotten them in treat boxes and I always really like them. I like that sweet corn flavored stuff. So I have a feeling that's actually going to taste good. So we're going to try what I believe is the sweet corn jelly bean first. Okay. I do get the sweet corn, but it definitely isn't as good as those other snacks I just mentioned. It kind of has a weird flavor. You get kind of this weird, like, slight bitterness first, before all of a sudden the sweetness and the corn flavor actually hits you. So that's a little odd. Let's move on though and try what I believe to be the gravy next. Oh, yep, that's gravy. And that don't just, that doesn't just taste like any gravy. That tastes distinctly like really bad packet gravy. Like, you get those gravy packets and gravy mixes, and most of the time, they're fairly easy to make. They can taste pretty good. Sometimes you might want to doctor them up with a little bit of seasoning or something, a little extra pepper or salt or something, depending on how they are. But sometimes if you get the really, really bad generic ones that like to stay really clumpy and they don't really mix really well with the water or milk, whatever you use for them, whatever it calls for in the packet, and the flavor overall just comes out to be horrid. It kind of tastes like very slightly burnt, even if you don't burn it. That's kind of what that reminds me of. Ugh, awful, horrible. Ugh. Last but not least though, for the trifecta, what I think is the fried chicken. Let's give it a shot. Ugh. Oh God. Oh. Oh, is that horrible? Oh my God. That is the most awful thing. Okay, hold on. We need a palate cleanse. I've got a drink here. Oh, is that bad? Oh, that is awful. Ugh. Sorry, I'm trying to like pick it off my teeth there because it's getting stuck. Ugh. The worst one of the 3 is definitely the fried chicken flavor. Ironically, the one that this is centered around is the worst one. That is horrible. You know that's exactly what they intended to do with this, though, is to create something sort of controversial just to make you have a laugh and so on. But yeah, that's that. So let's, though, wrap this up. Before we give a review, let's do a little bit of a testing of having all 3 flavors together at once. Here we go. I got 3. And again, I'll show them to you here. So there's one of each. You got your gravy, you got your sweet corn, you got your fried chicken. Let's try them all together at once and see if the flavors mix and make it at least a little more tolerable. And then we'll give our review. Good thing I have this drink handy. Oh. Nope. Oh. Okay. I don't have anything to spit this out in, so I'm just gonna drink it and swallow it. Ugh. God. Ugh. That is disturbingly disgusting. I would rather eat some of the offal of the Birdie Bots Jelly Belly, the Harry Potter ones or like the Bean Boozled that are out there now too, where, you know, you can play the Bean Boozled and whatnot. Minus the skunk one. The skunk one is absolutely horrible. Stink bug is god awful. Ugh. But there are some that are supposed to be the bad flavors in those that I would much rather eat than this. Like the one was supposed to taste like grass, if I remember right. There's one that's like dirty sock. It's gross, but it tastes better than this. Ugh. This tastes like they put all three of these items in the freaking deep fryer that's been used all day, full of the nasty old grease. They put all the corn, the gravy, and the chicken just all together in that grease, scooped up whatever bits were left over, wrung them out, stuck them in a machine, processed them into jelly beans, and here, eat it. Ugh. Ugh, it's freaking awful. If I had to give these a number out of 10, that's a straight up 1 out of 10. Like, I mean, 1 for the novelty of the situation, and that is it. 1 for the novelty only. Other than that, gross, disgusting. Can't do it. Nope, I'm done. I tried technically 2 of each. I'm good. My stomach is actually feeling a little churny right now because of that. But nonetheless, we're gonna hopefully follow this up with something a little bit delicious in terms of these marshmallow Peeps. And again, I know this is a divisive candy in the community. They're huge. Peeps are everywhere every year at this time, but they've also kind of grown to come out during other holidays and stuff too. And when I was a kid, they were only ever available at Easter time, and there wasn't all these varieties. You just had multiple colors. You had like your pink, your blue, your yellow, and that's it. Now there's more colors. There's so many flavors and neat things. They have chocolate dipped ones that are kind of cool. I always like them. And personally, and my dad would agree on this one too, but we like to leave them sit a little bit and start to get a little stale, and they get like a slight crispiness to it, and you bite them and they become more chewy. I like them like that. And of course, I like tossing one in some like hot chocolate or something too. That makes it a pretty fun experience. Or coffee. Actually, putting a marshmallow Peep in coffee, good stuff. But we have Pop-Tarts Frosted Strawberry up first, and then we have the Butterbeer Harry Potter flavor. So we'll try them, and we're gonna do the same thing. Now, nutrition facts here. Let me move the back off a little bit, and we'll hold it up. You guys can take a look, pause it if you want to read it. Otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead and read it to you here in just a second. So this is a 0.3 ounce or 3 ounce package. I can't tell if that's supposed to be a decimal or if that's just the net weight, period, 3 ounce. But either way, 2.5 servings per container. A serving size is 4 chicks. Surprisingly, this entire package is only 270 calories, but if you go by the 4 chick serving, it's 110 calories per serving. That's not bad. Total fat is 0 grams, 0 grams saturated fat, 0 grams of trans fat, 0 milligrams of cholesterol, 0 milligrams of sodium. For the serving, it's 27 grams of total carbs, which is 24 grams of added sugars. That's all your sugars, okay? For the entire package, it's 67 grams of total carbs, 60 grams of total sugars, all added, 1 gram of protein. Now, down below, you've got 1 milligram of potassium for the serving, 2 milligrams for the whole container. That sounds kind of odd and off, but that's okay. That's probably rounded in a way. But either way, I'm not having a whole serving. We're just trying one. Let's open this up and see how they smell. Ooh. Now they smell very strawberry-like, of course. And the cool thing is, if you take a look, they kind of remind you of a Pop-Tart in the sense that they're all sprinkly, confetti, and different colored confetti and dots and stuff, just like the top of a Pop-Tart. Now, I think what they probably could have done to make it a little better is, I get that this is probably strawberry flavored, and the marshmallow with the confetti is probably meant to more represent what the top was, the icing on top of the pastry. But what they probably could have done is, much like the dipped Peeps, where they dip them in chocolate on the bottom, they probably could have dipped this in like a white icing or a white chocolate and still had this confetti and the marshmallow be strawberry flavored like the filling. Or even at that, left it like this, dipped it, but still had like a little bit of a strawberry jelly filling like the inside of a Pop-Tart on the inside of the Peep. But otherwise, you know, that's just ideas, neither here nor there, what they could have done, but they didn't. They did it this way. So we're going to try it as it is and rate it out of 10. So, like I said, smells really strawberry-like, looks appealing. Let's see how it tastes. Eat the whole thing. Yeah. Poor bird. Bye-bye. No, it's fresh, so it's very melt in your mouth. Falls apart, goes away pretty quickly. It is, you know, very artificially flavored, but it actually kind of smells more potent than the flavor is. It's not overpowering. It has a nice light strawberry flavor. I think I actually would enjoy that. Like I said, maybe in hot chocolate or something, because the chocolate with that strawberry flavor is probably going to taste very, very much like a chocolate covered strawberry, but you know, it's that artificially candy strawberry flavor. So it isn't as natural as what the fruit would taste like, but it still tastes decent. For one of the flavored marshmallow Peeps, this one's pretty good. I like it. I would probably go with this being closer to a 6.5 out of 10. We'll say 6.5 because it's novelty. It's marshmallow Peeps. Like I said, I know it's divisive in the community. I like Peeps personally, and it's not something I would go for every time. I do prefer the plain ones. I do prefer, you know, as far as Easter candy and stuff like that, I prefer like Cadbury eggs or the Cadbury minis and stuff like that now. And they have the caramel eggs and chocolate filled ones. I like the caramel the best, but when I, you know, for Peeps, of course, I would prefer the original. But this, the novelty of it, the similarity to Pop-Tart, the taste of the Pop-Tart, pretty good. You get the idea of what they were going for. As I already explained, there's ideas of how I think they could have done a better job at it, but it still is a fairly good treat, something enjoyable. I just think it could have been done, executed a little bit better. So 6.5 out of 10, pretty solid. Now we're gonna finish things off with one more here, and this being the Harry Potter Butterbeer flavored. Now Butterbeer in most cases is typically like a butterscotchy type flavor when they do it for things. Like I said, the coffee creamer or even the goldfish grams came out with like a butterscotch type flavor, but they're pretty good. Everything I've tried so far, I've enjoyed the flavor that they go for. And I personally like butterscotch. I know some people don't, and I have a friend that's actually allergic to butterscotch, but I like the flavor. I used to like the little butterscotch candy discs a lot. My dad would get those, and growing up, I'd have them a lot. That was pretty good. But let's start with the nutrition facts. Here they are. If you want to go ahead and read them, pause them, read them, all that stuff. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and read them here to you. So, same deal. 2.5 servings per container, same size container. 4 chicks per serving. It's 110 calories per serving, or 270 for the whole container. 0 grams of total fat, 0 grams of saturated, 0 grams of trans fat, 0 milligrams of cholesterol, 0 milligrams of sodium. 27 grams of carbohydrates total, 0 grams of dietary fiber, 24 grams of total sugars, which includes added sugars, and 1 gram of protein, 1 milligram of potassium. That's just per serving. Now, same values up until the carbs for the whole container. Like I said, 270 calories per container, but 67 grams total carbs for the whole package. That's 60 grams of total sugars, which are all added. 1 gram of protein still, 1 milligram of calcium, and 2 milligrams of potassium. I don't believe there was... Oh, there was the 1 milligram of calcium on the Peeps as well, the Pop-Tart strawberry, but I thought that was a little different. That's okay. Calorie content and everything's pretty much the same for both. So let's see what this smells like. If they are going to be kind of butterscotch, how these are. So, oh yeah. They smell butterscotchy, but they have kind of like a brown sugarish kind of smell to them as well. So let's go ahead and rip one off. And again, nice and soft, fresh marshmallow. And there he is. Interesting little color, but smells wonderful. I actually like the smell of this one. So go ahead and eat it. Okay. Now, I like that one a lot better than I like the frosted strawberry. That would go good in some hot chocolate, or it would probably go good better, I think, in coffee. I think that butterscotch flavor comes through really well in there. And again, it's also flavored, so it's still technically the artificial, but this one's not as artificially flavored, if that makes sense. It like the flavor tastes better overall. It doesn't taste as fake as what the strawberry does. But again, I think this would go great in coffee. Toss it in coffee and let it melt down, have that marshmallow. And especially if you're using the butterbeer, like the zero sugar butterbeer creamer that's out there, or even if you're using that in just like a plain vanilla, use vanilla creamer with your coffee. You know, I know a lot of people drink their coffee black. I'm not one. I can't. I've tried it a couple times. It just doesn't sit well with me. It actually makes my stomach upset. I prefer my coffee with a little bit of creamer in it, give it a little bit of flavor and make it less bitter. But adding some stuff like this in just as a little extra, I like it. I like iced coffee and stuff too, but this would be really good in a fresh hot coffee, maybe a little bit of vanilla creamer or something in it, and add this flavor would be pretty good. But on its own, very good. I like it much better than the frosted strawberry. Now, still, is the best. Would I prefer regular Peeps over? Yeah, I would go for the regular marshmallow over this. But in the end, it's still a really good flavor, much more enjoyable than most of the other specialty ones. And I think for this one, I would probably lean up an additional point, and we'd go a 7.5 out of 10 for the butterbeer Peeps. So, you know, if you guys have tried any of these, including these absolutely disgusting fried chicken, sweet corn and gravy, KFC jelly beans, then I'm going to subject and torture my children with trying and eating now. And then my wife as well, so that they can all try the nastiness. And yeah, then we'll share them with the family or something. But either way, they're gross. I didn't like them. They're a 1 out of 10. The Peeps were much better and at least satisfied the palate in a way that cleansed this nasty flavor that I can still smell because they're sitting here. If you haven't tried them, let me know what your favorite Easter time candy is. Or, you know, if you don't typically pick up those kind of candies, what is your favorite holiday themed candy? Go with that one. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. We'll talk about that. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time out of your day to watch my videos, to hang out here on the channel. You guys are awesome. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and that's going to be it for this one. See you all next time.